Shalom. I'm out here as promised. Yeah, I did that. I did a sit down. I did a sit down earlier about what the Most High mean by the celestial bodies and stuff like that, and the terrestrial bodies. That I also put that video up too. So it's called that last video was called "The Death and the Resurrection of Israel in the Day of the Most High." But I'm gonna go into something that need to be revisited, and this is why we teach different. Well, we teach different from other camps and churches and people with other doctrines, and basically we teach divided from other doctrines. And the reason why we teach divided from other doctrines is because we're going to bring out the truth. And before I get going into all that, I want to first and foremost give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And I also like to give double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And I also like to give honor to the Akim that's out here pushing this truth and sincerity to the four corners. I just want to say shalom. Now, why do we teach divided from other doctrines? I'm gonna give you your first clue why. And this is Jeremiah 3:1. And it says, "And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding." So when he says mine heart, he's gonna give you teachers according to his truth, and not the doctrines of men, not following the traditions of men. So the churches ain't gonna teach you these things, they're gonna teach you the Lord said this or thus said Yahweh. They're not gonna teach you that. They're gonna give you this watered down prosperity preaching about blessings and stuff like that. All that prosperity stuff. They're gonna make you think that you winning some money, or you getting a good job, or a car, or doing well out here in this wicked ass kingdom is a blessing from the Most High when it's not. We're going to do the curses of Deuteronomy 28. So when the Most High blessed us, he blessed us to the point that everything we set our hand to do will prosper. So that if he blesses us. If you go to Deuteronomy 28:1 and you look at the blessings, because if you start at the very top of Deuteronomy 28:1, it goes by the blessings. If we obey the Most High, the blessings shall overtake us, come upon us and overtake us. And then after that, it get to I think it's Deuteronomy 15. It starts talking about the curses that'll overtake us if we don't obey the law, statutes, and commandments that he put before us that day. So everything that we set our hand, if he blessed us, everything that we set our hand to do will prosper. But that's not what's happening right now. We're under the curses, so everything that we set our hand to do will fail. So the Most High ain't into giving no blessings right now. He's putting the spirit on Esau to make us survive, to be able to survive, that we don't die off. He's not hit us with no blessings yet. The only way we're going to get something out of Esau extra is if we sell our soul and we deny who we are. So, you know what I'm saying? So basically, when the Most High blessed us, he blessed us to the point that everything we set our hand to do would prosper. And because he's not doing that, we can easily identify the curses that we suffer from this. And this is what these pastors is teaching, and that's a false doctrine. I see a blessing coming. I see money in your. I say, you gotta, man, don't listen to that, because that don't have shit to do with the scriptures. All of that is garbage. And this is Isaiah 28. It said, "For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there's no place clean." So all the things these churches and pastors are teaching you are wickedness. They're not telling you the Most High wants you to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. Instead, they telling you ain't no more laws, statutes, and commandments. They want to see you fail. They doing just what their masters told them to do, which is Esau. But, you know what I'm saying, this is how you'll know the true man of the Most High. And I'm going to continue. This is verse 9. And it said, whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little. And so you must understand the simple things first. That's what that means. So when it says milk, and when it says him that is weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast, that means you gotta be able to understand the simple things of the scriptures before you can start going into the deeper mysteries and the harder things of the scriptures. And so, hold on. And so it says, it says line upon line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little and there a little, which means you're gonna always find the truth. That it is always repeated throughout the Bible. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 times is repeated throughout the Bible. And to be able to prove truth, if I tell you that a day ends at evening, I'm gonna be able to go to like 4 different scriptures and all different books from the Old to the New to the Apocrypha and show you that that's true because it's gonna all line up. But if you tell me that God loves everybody, and you say it, and you think that's what it say because you see it in one place, but you can't find it nowhere else, nor can you find nothing else to prove it, you know that using that technique, line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little and there a little, that ain't true. But you can also find that throughout the scriptures, you're going to hear where it says Most High only love Israel. You're going to see that all over the place. And you'll know that's true because you see it all over the place. It's going to be backed up by more scripture in different books with different prophets at different time dispensations. So if I find something in the Bible and I can't find it nowhere else throughout that Bible, then that believer's a lie. And that person didn't understand the scriptures. And then it says, this is verse 11, for with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people. And what that means, and then when it says with stammering lips and another tongue shall he speak to his people, which means our truth and this happens in every Israelite video ever. Whenever you come out with the truth, this ain't nothing but the devil. They're gonna try at all costs to interrupt that message and to shut that message down. And when it says, for with stammering lips and another tongue shall he speak to this people, which means our truth will be told to us in a different language than what our forefathers spoke. Here's another hint. This is Luke 14 and 23. And it says, and Yahweh said unto the servant, go out unto the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. Now, how can we compel them to come in? What does that mean? If I sit out here and I tell you the truth about yourself, according to the scriptures, I'm going to compel you to read the truth the way it was meant to be read and not through Christianity. I'm going to compel you to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, that the number of his elect may be filled. And so we're not posting up in a temple built by hands. We standing out here. And let me repeat that again. And he says, go out into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. So we got to come out here on the streets, on the highways and the hedges, and preach out loud and catch people that's coming past, and speak louder so people can go and that's passing by can hear what you have to say. And so, like I said, we got to go out on the streets and teach. But let's get more detail about it. And this is Proverbs 1:20. And it says, wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief places of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city, she uttereth her words. And what does the wisdom we speak from the Bible ask you? What does it ask you? We out here, and this is what we out here doing. And this is what it asks you. And it's saying, this is verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. And then it says this, turn you at my reproof, because behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. And how exactly do the Most High make his words and his truth known unto the people that's intended to hear it? Through us, through the teachers that go out on the highways and hedges and do these videos and post them so that you can watch them or can answer your questions. He give us the understanding, and we break it down to the people who watch and the people who standing out. What's up, bro? Man, I got preaching this truth out here. Preaching this truth out here. The Bible. And then it says, okay, so how would he make his words known to us? You know, and then this is through the men he raised up to teach. And we speak till we blue in the face, but people don't listen. They'll come by and they'll stop and they'll hear me. They'll get a couple of words in and then they'll leave. And they go right back to doing what they was doing. And then so, I'm gonna continue. You know, they mock us basically. And so, this is verse 24. He said, because I have called and ye have refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. So did nobody listen? I'm giving you the truth of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But who's listening? I mean, our people will be quick to listen to something that's not going to be conducive to our salvation. You know, we'll sit back and listen to Cardi B, or we'll listen to whatever dude got to talk about for a lick or a move you're going to bust. But when it comes down to the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they walk away. They slide off. So nobody is listening except for the elect. And these scriptures are speaking to you. They singling out you, you know, and that's what this truth does. It convicts you. And it proves you're a liar when you are not abiding by it. And this is Malachi 3:8. And it says, will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But you say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. So the Most High saying, these pastors that be out here, all they want is your money. They robbing the Most High. They robbing God. Because that's what they want. They want you to come in and they're going to give you a feel-good speech, but they're not going to give you the truth of the Bible. They're going to give you a feel-good speech, and they're going to take your money. And you're going to leave feeling good thinking you did your due diligence to the Lord when you ain't did nothing but gave your money away to a land priest. And so it says, ye are cursed with a curse, for you have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. And prove me now herewith, said Yahweh of hosts, if I will not open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be enough room to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes. So all the money that y'all giving away to these pork chop pastors that just want to get your money, you're not doing nothing. The Most High don't need your money. The reason why he wants you to give tithes and offerings, which is food, is to help your people, to feed the congregation, to build up the congregation. You give your money to the pastor, he's not doing nothing with it but riding slick, buying houses, having his heaven right now. The Most High ain't dealing with him. He's not dealing with him at all. The next time you ask your pastor, when you give him all that money, and he collect all that money in them plates, you ask that guy, How you going to get that money to the Most High? How you giving it to God? Are you going to Western Union it to him? Or MoneyGram it? Maybe they're going to Walmart to Walmart it to him. Yeah, man, these pastors out there, they bogus. And I'm going to give you more about this. This is Micah 3:11. And it says, the heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire. They teach to get paid. It's a business. Christianity is a business. Yeah, it's a business. This is why they get tax write-offs, tax exempt. It's a business. It's a business. They take money. It's all a business. If you're dealing with a modern day Christian church and nobody gives tithes up, nobody pay them, nobody's gonna show up. Because they gotta pay the piano man, the organ man, the drummer, the deacon boy. It's all a business. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over that for you one more time. And it says, the heads thereof, this is Micah 3:11, the heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests therefore teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. And this is the Bible telling you this about Christianity, about religion, because he hates religion. Because the Bible is not Christianity. The Bible is not religion. The Bible is our history books. You so-called blacks, you so-called Native American Indians, and you so-called Hispanics. That's what it is. It's our history book. It's the history that white devil ain't never told you, and he don't want you to know. So therefore, he had it for you. One of the truest carnal sayings I done heard is, you want to have something from a nigga, put it in a book. So this truth is hidden right in your face. Right in your face. Yeah, man. And before I go, I just want to say this. This is Acts 5:29. And you should remember this. And it says, then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men. So no matter what's going on in these streets, what's happening in this world, don't worry about what they're doing. You got to obey the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the Most High. You got to follow those laws. Because what everybody else doing don't mean nothing. Because you got to remember, only a remnant of us going to be saved. Don't worry about what the majority is doing. Because they fucked up. They going to be, they damaged. You know, you gotta be the set apart. You gotta be the small amount. That's what's gonna be saved. Everybody ain't making it. And when I say a remnant, I mean a remnant of our people. All the other nations outside of the Israelites ain't gonna make it no way. You wanna know why? Just go and check out my video I did before this one. And it'll break it down to you why. So with that being said, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And I also like to give honor to the Akim that's out here pushing this truth and sincerity to the four corners. I just want to say shalom and shalom.